Views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
When every second counts, count on Vital Care MedTrans. You do have a choice when it comes to ambulance service in this area. So when you call 911, ask for the best.
Wait a minute, are you Vital Care?
Yes, we are.
Good.
State-of-the-art equipment and a well-trained staff who stand ready to respond to your call. That's Vital Care MedTrans, when nothing but the best will do.
All right, we on, Honeybee?
Yep.
All right, here we are. Welcome to Straight Talk Live. I'm Jerry Chadwell. I've got my sidekick, Jim Slusher, with me. We've got, I think we've got quite a bit of stuff to go over tonight. It's budget time. Well, first of all, let me remind you on Vital Care. Some of you folks out there I've talked to, you've used Vital Care in the past. You all know what a quality service that is. If you call 911, just ask them to send Vital Care out to your place, and that's who they'll send. If you just ask them to send Vital Care, that's all you have to say. Send Vital Care, and they'll send them. So just call 911, and Vital Care will show right up. They'll take good care of you. So, but anyway, we've got it's come budget time, Jim. And the only way we can talk about the budget is to really talk about some issues at this point, is to talk about some issues in the past and some issues that's going on. Isn't that about right?
That's damn.
The only way we can relate to you folks about next year's budget is some of the things that's going on and some of just the pitiful stuff that in some situations is happening. And I've got some pictures that I'm going to try to show you here in a few minutes, and hopefully this will work out, and you'll see just and we'll let you go. What do we call it?
Oh, the Rusty Oric State Prison, Campbell County, Justice Center, Hilton.
Oh, the Hilton. Okay, so
someone referred to it the other day as the Campbell County Alcatraz.
So, folks, I went down. Since I'm on, let's just talk about this first, okay? I went down today, about 3-4 hours ago, and I took some pictures that just blew my mind. I went down there last week, and it just never occurred to me. And I was down there last night, and I was looking, and I'm thinking, something just don't look right down here. Something just don't look right. I've never in my life seen a maximum security jail. I've never seen any kind of prison or jail that you can just walk up and climb up on the roof, folks. But you can do that to our new jail, our $12 million jail. You can walk down there and park in the parking lot back behind the election commission, the courthouse, and walk over and just climb up on the maximum security section of our jail. Let me show you what I mean. Jim, I'm going to try, hopefully this will work. It's about an 8-second delay. I'm going to try to show you these pictures. Jim's looking on the screen here so that he can tell me if I'm too far or too close. Excuse me. So that you all can see. Fortunately enough, there was a kind gentleman. Jim, what's it look like? Has it showed up yet?
Still you.
Huh?
It's still you.
Okay. There was a kind gentleman down there that come over. If you can see him, right here, folks, he's just standing on the ground by the parking lot, there behind the courthouse, by the jail. There's no fence. This building right here is the maximum security section of our new jail. That's where your maximum security prisoners are going to be.
Point out the skylights.
The
there.
skylights, we'll get to the skylights. But you got this man, I mean, all he had, he's standing on the ground, folks. That's gravel, that's dirt.
All right, move it over to your left a little and show them the parking lot.
Yeah.
The parking lot butts up.
The parking lot right there.
almost butts the side of the building.
Oh, yeah, the parking lot butts up.
So somebody that wants to ram the building has a gateway to it through the parking
Yeah, if
lot.
you just wanna ram the building, you're right there. I mean, you know, so, and look how easy, I took another picture. I had this man just get up on the ledge and reach his arm right up on the roof, folks. How easy is that? If somebody, now understand, okay, the sheriff didn't have nothing to do with designing this building, the architect,
There's the parking lot.
you know. Rusty Ork, well, you're a little bit behind, Jim. You're a little bit behind.
20 seconds.
So Rusty Ork designed this, folks. Or he didn't design it, he picked the architect. What we had was an architect that they have in pocket, I don't know why, for some reason. They love this one architect, between Jeff Marlowe and Rusty Ork, they seem to love this one architect. He'd never designed a jail before, but they gave him the bid, and he subcontracted this thing out. And look what we got. We've had change order after change order, and Mr. Slusher will tell you, we both were at the last meeting when they had a change order for what, $150,000?
Right.
And Jeff Marlowe sat there and told the commission, this will be the last change order, there won't be any more. Well, apparently, there's a good possibility he was wrong, because there's got to be a fence put around this. So,
I think what happened, Jerry, the county, the architect and the contractor agreed to pay for change orders, whether they were their fault or not, because the county, I think, only had $7,500 left, and we threw it in the hat too.
yeah,
And they said, well, are there gonna be any more change orders? And Mr. Marlowe said with great affirmative, no, there
No.
will be no more change orders.
well, look at this, folks, let's move on. We got this, now looky here. These white things, and there's a bunch of them, are skylights. There's a bunch of skylights down into the maximum security section of that jail. I tried to take a tour of the building today because I wanted to see what was under these skylights, and they wouldn't let me take the tour today. They had something else going on, so I wasn't able to do that. But it was pointed out to me by somebody of authority that knew what they were talking about, I think, said, you know, what if somebody just went and, you know, cut them a little hole in that skylight, and if there's bars over that to keep prisoners from climbing out of it, you know, how hard would it be just to go climb up on this roof, cut a hole in that, in one of those skylights, maybe drop some drugs down in there, maybe drop a gun down in there for goodness sakes. What, you know, what if somebody did that, okay? Then we go on around the building, and you see the ground level down here. You've got maximum security. This is so funny. You've got maximum security sails that look right out on the ground, and there's no fence around this, folks. I walked right up to this. Okay? Now, I'm sure them windows will be real hard to bust out or cut out or what, but how many of you don't think a prisoner's not going to try to do that over a period of time? And if they were to get out, all they got to do is just walk right out there and they're gone.
Now you're up to the cell lights.
So, now,
See the cell windows?
no, we're past that.
No, it's still on your picture.
Yeah, but it's late on there. There's about a 10, 15 second delay. So then, this is the maximum security part of the old jail. Okay, I went over and looked at it. It's got a fence here, no razor wire anywhere. I looked at it, got pictures, no razor wire anywhere. What if somebody, you know, was able to bust one of these windows out? How, you know, what's to hold them in if they were to bust one of these windows out? Now, fortunately, none of this has happened, but these are possibilities. Okay? Then I walked around to the front of the building. This is the where you go into the new courthouse. Look at this here.
We're not there yet.
How hard would it be for somebody to lay a ladder up on this, climb up on this roof, and work their way across to the jail? Okay? We got problems here, folks. So, did I have it up there pretty good?
Yes.
Okay, we got problems, folks, on that jail. That's I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, and I think one thing to point out too, Jerry, is that the jail has not yet been certified.
They don't have occupancy of the jail.
No. Now, they're gonna have a public walkthrough April the 30th,
April 30th, between 5 and 7 o'clock.
between 5 and 7 o'clock.
Anybody's invited, is what I was told today.
And please don't try to enter the jail from the roof. That walkway is not completed yet.
Yeah, that's not, You know, so, as easy as that looks like it'd be to do, to go through one of those, skylights or, you know, they had some. I tried to go down there today, like I said, and I was denied the opportunity to go down there because they said something else was going on, and I just couldn't, for security reasons. I couldn't go because I wanted to know what's under those skylights that would make somebody that's able. You know, the bottom line is, Mr. Slusher and I both agree. I don't see how you're not going to be required to put a fence around that building. I may be wrong, but I don't see it, you know.
I don't know how you're gonna put one around that is gonna be tall enough to keep the public from accessing.
Well, and you gotta have razor wire. I mean, where's the razor wire? Where's, you know, I mean, you got 3 strands of barbed wire on the top. What, that ain't no deterrent for
There's
somebody.
no razor wire whatsoever.
No razor wire, so my thinking is you gotta put, the way this thing is designed, you gotta put that fence on the top of the building right there on the edge all the way around. And around the other side, where the windows are down on the ground, you gotta close that off somehow.
And the fence is gonna be accessible, if they do put a fence in, is gonna be accessible by the general public.
Right,
That means you're going to, anyone that walks by that fence will have an opportunity to scale the fence.
yeah. And
And
folks,
as you know, in maximum security prisons, it's kind of, Hollywood, but they do fly helicopters, they do everything in the world to get Uncle Johnny out of jail. Now, I'm sure Mr. Orick is down there trying to figure out this dilemma, and so far he's been able to figure them all out because
he throws your tax dollars at it.
the budget's up to $15 million, almost $15 million, and that's not counting interest.
Right,
You gotta remember, this is a project that when it was originally conceived was about $8 million, a little over $8 million. It's up to $15 million plus interest.
and we gotta throw some more money at it, because folks, I just don't see how anybody from if I understand it right, somebody from the state penitentiary office has to come by and look at this thing and certify this jail. And with this being wide open like it is around the outside there, with the opportunity for any citizen that wants to come climb on top of this thing, I don't see how it's gonna get certified. Do you, Mr. Slusher?
No, I don't, and I'll tell you too, Jerry, when you look at the quality of construction that's gone into this building, it would be even worse if the county didn't have a first-rate contractor. But you cannot build a boat if only 1 out of 3 people's working.
Right.
And he's tried to build this, and it looks like he's tried to build it by himself because it's taken 4 years.
This contractor's tried to do the absolute best job he has, but he's up against some architect that didn't have any business doing this.
Over 200 change directives. Who in the world could deal with that? It's terrible.
So the next time you see 3rd District Commissioner Rusty Orick, thank him for that albatross you've got sitting down there at Jacksboro that just you have to keep throwing tax dollars at just because it's been a mess from day one. Does that sound about right?
It's something that we will live with for eternity.
And pay for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's 20 years.
So those of you that do Facebook, sometime tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to put there's a web page that I am able to put some pictures on occasionally called Campbell County Arrest. I'm going to put these pictures on that website either tonight or tomorrow on the Facebook page on Campbell County Arrest. So go there, you'll be able to see them up close and look at them, as long as you want to. So just they'll be there. Go and look at them. Make up your own mind whether you think there's any, this is, I may be totally wrong about this. You're on the air.
That is the most pitiful looking jail I've ever seen in my life.
Buddy, it's pretty.
One more comment. How much did Jeff and Rusty profit wonder from looking at jail act, and one of them called in and honestly tell the truth. That is the most pitiful looking jail and how much they profit off of. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Let's see. You're on the air.
How are you gentlemen tonight?
We're good, thank you.
I wanted to ask, I know I had to go down for jury duty, but I mean, everybody was standing against the walls. They were plumb out in the highway. And in the new part, are those courtrooms bigger?
They're smaller,
Actually, I think they're smaller.
smaller.
Well, that's what we were told.
Now, the judge has bigger space, and the officers and the attorneys have bigger space, but the citizens have smaller space.
I mean, why didn't they make it bigger for the public?
Because you ain't the politician.
Well, yeah, but we're paying for it.
I understand that, but when's the last time other than election time they respected that?
They don't.
Only in election time do they seem to respect that.
That's the only time.
It's the only time I know of.
And I sure hope we don't have any real bad criminals down there.
You know, Mr. Slusher and I'll just go ahead and say this. Mr. Slusher and I sat here for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks and tried to tell the citizens about our feelings about Rusty Orrick as a county commissioner. And the citizens voted him back in anyway. And then, you know, I mean, this business here just keeps going on and on and on and on. And it keeps rearing its ugly head on this jail that he was the author of. So y'all,
Well, I'm not in his district.
I'm not either,
If I had been, I wouldn't have voted for him.
but
I tell you what, if I had pulled a boner like this jail has been, you would never see my face in public again. It's embarrassing.
well, I mean, have you ever heard of a jail that you can just go walk and climb on the roof of it?
Never.
You don't even need a ladder.
Never.
You don't need a ladder. You can just go climb up on this thing.
Well, it must be operated on the trust
It's
system.
on the trust system. So, I'm telling you, folks, and I mean, if somebody didn't see it good, and somebody wants to call in and wants to see this again, I had this man look like he was about the same height as me, and he went over there and he's flat foot looking over the top of the roof of the jail. That's nuts.
He could have got up there, no problem.
I had him climb up there just a little bit just to show you how easy it was in one of the pictures.
He would have had no problem.
No, he wouldn't have had any problem. So, what kind of damage could he have done? Went in there, maybe threw something in the exhaust system, maybe caused a fire hazard, or, I mean, you can't be having people go climb on the roof of the jail.
No.
It's that simple, and that's what we got going
But
here.
a gun is. They could have thrown it. A gun could be thrown through there.
That's right. Drugs. I mean, people that do that kind of stuff, they're gonna find a way, and if they don't fix this right here, which is gonna cost the county, the taxpayers more dollars, because they've screwed up once again, so I mean.
What I can't understand is, here we have a contractor that's out there working 4 years on this. He's laboring every day, and the architects are looking at the plans every day, but they've got to see the finished product before they realize it's not a maximum security prison.
Well,
It's not maximum security.
that goes to show you what some of our county commissioners can do.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. We got another call.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Yes, would you have pictures again, please?
What, you want to see them again?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll try to get up there and show them again. And could you see them before?
Yeah, I could see them, but we missed part of them. Can you show them again, too, please?
Okay, I'll show them again.
Thank you.
Okay. We no longer have a monitor here in the room, so it's hard to tell if I'm showing them right and it looks proper. So I'll do the best I can. But hopefully this is good. But this is the man, that's the kind fellow that was in the parking lot, and I just asked him, said, would you come over here? He said, I hope I don't get in trouble, because there is a camera, and I said, well, we're not doing anything illegal, we're just taking pictures. So, but anyway, I mean, he's standing right there flat-footed on the ground by the parking lot. I mean, this is where you park your car, folks. I should have took a better picture of that, and I'm sorry, but that's where you park your car. He's flat-footed on the ground, and I mean, this guy's about the same size as me, probably 5'10", 5'11", you know, and he's flat-footed looking on the roof. So I had him kind of climb up on the ledge there so I could get a picture of him. Put his arm up on the roof just to show you how easy it was. He don't even have to reach, you know, that's not even a big reach to look up on the roof, okay? Then I wanted to take some pictures of these skylights and just show you how easy, you know, these skylights it's just, I mean, you know, can you cut a hole in one of them? What's under it? I don't know. I mean, can you drop the gun down there? Can you drop some drugs? You know, you got your exhaust system and all these things here. Can you drop something down in one of them things? You know. Then I walked around the building, and you go around here and you look at the maximum security cells, okay? And the windows are right on the ground. I mean, this is a cell on top of this one. You know, them prisoners it might take a month, 2 or 3 months to dig their way out of there. I don't know.
How'd you get back there, Jerry?
I just walked back there. All you have to do is walk. There's no fence. All you have to do is walk back there. So if one of them gets out, he's just gonna walk away. You know, another picture of that. So then this is the other newest jail that was built 5, 6, 7 years ago. That fence right there. This is the maximum security section of that. Not a bit of razor wire anywhere, so if one of them were to break out, and they haven't, so it hadn't happened, but there's no razor wire anywhere. We just don't seem to be concerned about that. Then I walk around the front where you go into the courtroom. Here's a part of the building you could easily throw a ladder up on real easy. Then, you know, just storm the building, you know. So, I mean, it's pitiful, folks. The design of this building and the extra cost of this building, because of the pitiful design, because apparently, and this is my opinion, apparently Mr. Orrick, Rusty Orrick, and Jeff Marlowe had their sights set on one certain designer, and they gave him the contract knowing that he'd never designed a jail before. And this designer.
Has he designed one now?
He didn't design this one. He subcontracted it out to somebody that apparently has, so basically, you know, they made sure this one, the architectural contracting firm, they got paid a certain amount of money for doing nothing. And it turned out it's costing us more money. You're on the air.
Can you say a little kickback off of that?
Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. You know, if you want to, you know, let's don't get into specifics. I've heard that mentioned several times. There's no way to prove that. I'll be honest with you. I would love to have an opportunity to look at some bank accounts, but you know, I'm not going to say that. Okay.
I won't go there.
Thank you, buddy. He must have hung up. You're on the air.
Yeah, Jerry, I wanted to call in and clarify something about the city council meeting.
Okay.
They think that I was the one that called the news team up here. I was not the one that called the news team up here. And the only thing that Mike Stanfield got mad about is that he told us before you could add on to an existing building, you had to have your property core drilled. He got in the meeting, he said, we are going to build on to the firehouse. I asked him if he was going to have it core drilled, and he told me to sit down and shut my mouth.
And kept pointing at your seat, saying, sit down, sit down, sit down. I saw it on the video. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
He told Jimmy Jeffries if I did not sit down to
Yeah.
And that is unprofessional.
Well, I mean,
So I think if one rule goes for one person, one rule should go for the other one.
what do I know? I'm just somebody sits here running my mouth about stuff and don't know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that was said at the meeting also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He said that they was not going to go through with the yard sale thing because people got on TV running their mouth.
About stuff they didn't know what they was talking about.
Well, I got news for him.
Yeah.
I was in the meeting where he looked at Ben Bow and told him to go to the Ingalls building and tell them they could not sit up down there, that they had to sit up at the flea market because they were entering private property and trespassing. That was not up to Stan Bass, that was not up to Mike Stanfield.
That's up to the property
He
owner.
owns the property. If he has a problem with it, he has the right to tell him to get off of his property.
And I've talked to that man and he told me that he's never told anybody that.
Exactly right.
I've talked to that property owner and he told me that he has never said that to any of those people.
And then I told him, I said, well, it's like this. I said, you all raise the garbage fee.
Yeah,
You all raise the flea market fee.
right.
To give everybody a raise.
Yeah,
They were supposed to make 10 an hour. I was in the meeting.
yeah,
Well, the next meeting I went to, Mr. Gary Bird or Baird or whatever his name is, he had give all of his firefighters, which the firefighters, they need a raise.
yeah.
They should. He should.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Let's go on.
Okay. He gave all the firefighters
Yeah,
the 10 raise plus a 3% raise.
right.
Okay, it was brought up in the meeting.
Yeah,
Well, then he looked at Gary Bears and he said, well, we'll just let them go ahead and go ahead and give them the 10 raise and the 3% raise because we'll have to go back into the minutes and everything and change it before we can take that 3% raise away from them.
yeah. Okay, I don't remember hearing that, but I'll take your word for it. But no, that thing was that was a mess, and I had somebody stop me this week and said, I was coming out of a store, I had a man stop me this week and told me, he said, boy, you beat them down on that, didn't you? And I said, well, that wasn't the point, I just was on the side of the citizens on this one.
No, we haven't,
Yeah, but let me tell you, and I talked to a businessman in the city of La Follette that told me he wanted to add on to his building, and he's been a politician in the city of La Follette before. I'm not gonna tell you his name, but he told me they made him core drill his, and he drilled it, and he expects them to core drill that fire department just like you do.
well, they're not going to.
Yeah.
And they stood right in there and told me to
Yeah.
boggle that property.
Yeah.
They did not core drill that property.
Yeah.
Talk to the people
Yeah,
that built Weigel, they did not do it. Bojangles did not do it.
yeah, then I'd have an issue with that. So, hey, I've got another caller.
Okay.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, anybody with a simple sledgehammer can get in there.
Get in-
You know it?
Get in that jail?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, yeah, well, I'm sure there's rebar all through that, and
Oh,
I wouldn't bet on it.
you would think, well, that contractor probably knew to do that. But I mean, did you see all the pictures?
oh yeah, I've seen them all.
But it's a mess, wasn't it?
It's pitiful.
It's pitiful. So,
I dare any of the commissioners, any one of them, to call in and explain it. If they got any guts at all.
they ain't gonna call in, they ain't got no guts.
No, they.
The ones that were involved in this, now the new commissioners didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, it was old one, but some of the ones that's on there now had something to do with it.
The new ones did. The new ones had nothing to do with this at all. And there's, what is there, 10, there's 10 new ones. They're only playing this is that they have to keep signing off on these change orders to pay the money to fix it, pay our money to fix the mess that's been there, that's been going on. Maybe that's all they can do. They really don't have any choice. I mean, we've got a $15 million investment that they can't open in the state it's in. They're gonna have to fix it,
That's the truth.
you know.
One of them would call in though, and try to explain it.
Well, I wish one of them would too, but they ain't none of them got the guts to do it.
Well, you cannot explain, what cannot be explained.
Right.
That's the truth. They're listening, but they won't call in.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's several of them listening, I know that for sure. But now, I don't blame any of the new ones on that, I think there's 5 that's been there before. You know, and I can't say that those 5 don't have some blame in this, but, you know, they're not, you know, some of them wasn't on the jail committee, so they probably didn't know. But, I mean, Mr. Slusher's pointed out, Mr. Orrick has been hands-on on this thing and been the jail committee chairman
It should be named after him.
for some time, that, this is his baby. I don't care how she wants to say it, this is his baby. And it's been bad. That's just been bad. It needs a spanking.
It has.
So there you go.
I appreciate talking to you, gentlemen.
Okay, appreciate you watching the show, buddy.
Okay, good night.
Thank you.
Jerry, I have a public announcement I'd like to make.
Okay, you running for something?
No.
Okay.
Contrary to what you may have read in the paper or heard on the radio or
Okay.
read on WLAF's website, we do not have an EMS director.
We do not. We found that out today.
It was pointed out in the meeting that our mayor appointed a new director.
Right.
Somehow he found out he didn't have the authority to do that.
Didn't have the authority to do it.
No. Now, I knew that we didn't have the authority.
Right.
Anyone that has any experience with this county knew that he didn't have the authority, because I remember sitting through the Don Boshear's hiring
Right.
when the mayor had difficulty getting him hired.
And I remember sitting through Danny Murray being hired.
Yeah, and but I think even our county attorney didn't know it, because he issued an opinion or a letter
Today.
today,
Mm-hmm.
and he was sitting in the meeting and he never said anything.
I spoke with him today.
Now, our ambulance director, from what I hear, and also our sanitation department director, both were summarily dismissed.
Said we're going in a different direction.
And they lean behind or hide behind a state law that says you are a at-will employee. When you fire somebody and you don't tell them why you're firing them, they have no idea. They have no opportunity to respond, give explanation, or anything. I doubt that this county even evaluates its employees. I'd like to see their evaluations, wouldn't you? I doubt that one's ever been done.
You mean just on your general employees?
An annual evaluation like businesses have and so forth, how they determine pay rates.
I'd like to know that. I don't know the answer to that.
I've never heard of one. I asked Mr. Marlowe one time, I said, who writes your evaluation? He said, well, the audit is my evaluation. And I looked at the audit and I'm saying, my gosh, this audit's terrible. And it was. People constantly being written up for lack of internal controls in their offices.
Right.
And so forth, but it's heartbreaking to have to terminate someone, but I think anyone that's being terminated, I don't care what the law says, the law is permissive.
Yeah.
It allows you to give a reason that they should have an idea of why they're being terminated. And according to my information, the 2 gentlemen that were let go were just summarily dismissed.
We're called in the office and told we're going a different direction.
Yeah.
Your services are no longer needed.
Now, we're supposed to be, with the new mayor, operating under a system of transparency. decisions being made in the public. No more behind the doors activities. Why were these gentlemen let go? I'd like to know. Would you?
But you're never gonna get an answer to that.
I'd like to see their evaluations. Well, what's it based on?
If somebody is a department head out there, we'll try not to, try our best to cover you up who you are. Text me.
Now,
To some of you that I have, text me, let me know, do you do employee evaluations at least once a year? You're on the air.
All right. Hey, Jerry, who makes the decisions that I don't? The commissioners have no say in it no more?
On what?
Anything.
Well, the mayor has authority over about 6 or 7 different departments. Now, the way I understand it, and this is the way it was, because I did some checking on this today, and the way I understand it, there's about 6 or 7 different positions that he can actually fire. Okay? But as far as I know, there's not any position that he can hire. He can make a recommendation, but the county commission has to hire him. Is the way they have to, by simple majority, they have to take a vote and hire him.
Oh, okay. I got another question,
Okay?
Mayor. Is he the only one that makes the decision over the county for the sheriff's department, jail and all that?
He doesn't have anything to do with it. The mayor doesn't.
Well, I thought the county commissioner is supposed to get up, speak about it, tell you what they've done, and if they screwed it up, tell you if they didn't, everybody praise them.
Did you understand that? Say that again.
I think he made his points.
What I meant was, how come they know the county commission? I know the new ones didn't have anything to do with the jail.
With the jail, right.
The decision. How come none of the old ones that spoke up?
Well,
Have you talked to them?
Well, it's called public humiliation is one reason why they won't.
well, you got one down there that I kid with him all the time, won't take a stand on anything. And he ain't gonna take a stand on this, I promise you. None of them's gonna take credit for this. And I can just tell you that they're not going to. And it's all about, what's gonna hurt me the next time I run for election. That's,
You know what? That guy called in, he said all you had to have was a sledgehammer. No, good pair of boots is all you have to do, because all you got is a grid in between that skylight.
yeah.
Sure is.
Well, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
if that's all it is some rebar, just a set of bars up there, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wanted to get in there today and take pictures of it. If that's all it is, it was pointed out to me, how hard would it be? Cut a hole in there, drop a gun, drop some drugs, whatever,
Yes, sir.
right down in there.
Now, what we're saying about the jail
Yeah,
has,
that's worse than 45's jail.
well, Otis at least knew how to use the key. He didn't have to go up on the roof.
Yeah.
That might be where they're getting their boots. Keep it going, Jerry. I'll talk to you and such you later.
Okay, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
I have another public announcement, Jerry.
Uh-oh, you still ain't running for office?
No.
Okay.
I have another public announcement. Our animal shelter is now in tatters.
It's a mess.
It was announced that essentially, the way I interpret it, that we're back to being a kill shelter. I know when Mayor Baird left office, and it's a little bit embarrassing for me to say this, but you got to tell the truth. It was my understanding when he left office that the animal shelter was running very well. After being closed for a long period of time that I took great issue with. And I even talked to the gentleman that took over the animal shelter after it had been closed, and he left because he told me he had accomplished what he set out to do, and that the animal shelter was working well. We had the Friends group in there.
Right.
They've pulled out,
They pulled out.
and we can't seem to get the place cleaned up that's fit for a dog to live, dog or cat to live in. It kills them, the environment.
No,
Now, if this has been such a persistent problem over the years, why have we never heard about it before? Parvo, which supposedly we have, has been around many, many, many years. And I've never heard of that shelter being closed by Parvo. Have you?
not until recently.
You know, I found out when I was in my career that occasionally you ran up against something that you decided that you just couldn't do as well a job as you thought you could do.
Right.
And you know what you do when you do that?
What's that?
You find somebody that can.
I'm gonna find something else.
And I'm sure that the Humane Society or even the Friends Group would be tickled to death to take over that animal shelter
If they let them run it their way,
if they'd let them run it,
their way.
give them the money that we're putting into
And
it.
that's one of the problems, folks, is that they don't, the $130,000 is not enough to run. And I think that's the full budget for that shelter for the whole year, isn't it?
Yeah.
$130,000 is not enough to run that shelter.
It's eating the mayor's time alive, and it will as long as we continue to have it.
Right.
It has now, I don't even know if we have a director of the animal shelter. I understand that the director that we have is in the mayor's office.
Again, was never approved by the county commission for that situation, to be the director of the animal shelter.
Not that I'm aware of.
Right.
Nor has the director of the landfill been approved by the commission.
Right.
And one's been appointed. Is that correct?
Now, he was appointed as interim.
I don't find anywhere that the mayor is authorized to appoint an interim.
Okay, now I hadn't thought about it that way.
I don't find where he's
I was just
allowed.
thinking on a permanent basis.
I can't find in Mr. Coker's opinion, and I've also got, I did a little research today.
Okay.
I've got an opinion of the Tennessee Attorney General. He doesn't say anything about an interim.
Okay.
The only interim I've heard of is the road superintendent, and that was handled properly.
Properly.
And that
Right.
was appointed by the county commission.
Right.
So, you know, we've got some problems. Some of these problems would go away if you let the people that are trained to handle them. And it's pretty evident that the county simply does not know how or can't run an animal shelter. So they need to turn it over to someone that can. Because I guarantee you, this time next year, as long as the county has control of it, we'll be sitting here going on with this great debate. And it should not be on the front burner. I don't hear, someone asked about industrial recruitment the other day. Where are we at? Well, we're gonna have a meeting. We're gonna have a meeting. That was the
Okay.
answer.
I got a couple of, I've been getting some text here, and I'm sorry, I didn't, it wasn't making any sound. When I was talking about the jail a while ago, I got some text that, some folks wanted to make me aware that Sue Nance and Beverly Hall did not vote for the jail. I know Bob Walden and Tom Hatmaker, I don't think voted for it. So, but I also got a text here that said the mayor apparently in the meeting said he was the director of the animal shelter.
That's
I
correct.
wasn't at that meeting, so I apologize. I didn't, I thought, didn't he tell us that he had hired some lady from West Virginia or something? Cause she had, experience with animal shelters? Or Virginia or West Virginia, am I correct about that?
Fine person, but you know, listen to part of the Attorney General's opinion in talking about abolishing positions and so forth.
Okay,
Nor may a county mayor defund or abolish a department created by the county commission.
that's not saying anything about the position of the director, whoever runs it.
You cannot defund.
Right.
And
Or
when you
abolish.
get rid of your director, you have defunded the department.
No, you had the money still there.
No, the money's been spent in the mayor's office. Absent statutory authority, a county executive cannot impound funds previously appropriated by the county commission under its budget. And it's my understanding that a budgeted position for the animal shelter was approved in the budget.
Okay. But it's through the mayor's office. Am I wrong about that?
It's through the animal shelters department's budget to the mayor.
Okay. So you're saying the animal shelter has its own budget separate from the mayor's office, even though the mayor's office runs the animal shelter?
The mayor is not the director of the animal shelter.
Okay,
He is the supervisor of the animal shelter director.
okay. Now, according to somebody here, apparently the mayor said, and I wasn't at the meeting, that he is the director of the animal shelter. Were you at that meeting?
Yes.
Okay. You're on the air.
Hey, Jerry, the two that's sitting right there is the one he's voting for the mayor that we got now. You need to get on him and do something.
It might be what we're doing.
Well, you need to get on his hard, because I'm telling you, I ain't seen nothing.
Well, I sat in EL's office for about an hour the day and talked to him.
Yeah.
He's working on some things, and he told me, he said, hey, I've screwed up, but I'm trying to fix things. He told me, I've messed up bad.
Beard said.
Huh?
The same thing old Beard said. I'm working on it.
Well, but we all knew better than that. Then we all knew better than that.
Oh, I'm not gonna deny what I did in E.L. Morton's campaign, and you know what I did, and I know what I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know what Jerry did,
I'm putting points.
and we went 100% head over heels in support of him, and I still support the mayor.
I still support him.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. I told the mayor I wanted one thing out of him. I don't want to be appointed to any positions. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be doing that. All I want is for the mayor to be a leader. And EL will verify that. That's what I told him I wanted. That was my price.
If he leads the dogs across the street, it's more than what we have in that other.
There you go.
I told EL what my price was for my support, and it was for him to be a leader when he was elected.
We stress leadership pretty hard.
Yeah.
And playing animal shelter dog catcher is not being leader.
No, it sure ain't. But how come?
Just like this wheel tax. It was the county commission's mayor and county attorney to know what they were proposing to do on that wheel tax was illegal.
Oh, yeah.
They should have known that up
All
front.
I did, I picked up the statute and I read the statute and I said, what they're doing is illegal.
Don't know them fellas down there getting no brochures and nothing goes with that job.
Well, they go to Nashville. We pay for it for them to go to training.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got another call.
Go ahead.
Thank you, buddy. You're on the air.
What in the world is the purpose of that animal shelter anyways? And the daggone dog catcher. Okay? I live out here in Jacksboro, and I have called several times over the 4 years I lived here, animal control to come out here and get all these stray animals that folks just come out and drop off. And it might be 2 or 3 days before they come. They might not come at all. Why are we funding this anyways, period?
Well, one thing that we're doing it for is to take care of what you've asked for. That's the purpose.
That's the purpose of it. It may
That's
not
the
be getting done fully, but that's the purpose of it.
Well, I would understand that if it was getting done, but it's not at all. We've had kids out here. I live in an apartment complex, and we've had kids out here get bit and by stray dogs and sprayed by like skunks and things like that. And there's nothing that anybody ever does to them.
Yeah.
Nobody ever comes out to corral them or anything like that. I think it's just a waste of taxpayer dollars, to be honest, and the problem that we had out of that animal shelter is just crazy.
Well, for years in Campbell County, one of the things that has happened is our county commission, and not just this county commission, the county commissions in the past, this is my opinion, it's not necessarily Mr. Slusser's, my opinion, they don't want to create any kind of new laws that might offend somebody. They don't want any new ordinances that might offend somebody, okay? So they don't want to make it difficult. They don't want to, we've got some kind of regulations on there about, picking up animals and all that. But you go to somebody that's got an animal that's terrorizing somebody, they're not gonna go out there and offend the owner of that dog and say, hey, we're gonna put your dog to sleep, or we're gonna fine you each time that dog gets out. They're not gonna do anything like that because they don't wanna offend nobody. It might cost them a vote.
Lord forbid that ever happens.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. Thank you, ma'am.
Night.
Okay.
I'd like to make one more public announcement.
You running for office yet? Huh?
Mr. Marlowe has sent out his epistle that he's gonna impose another tax.
Hold on a minute. We're gonna take this call. You're on the air.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have two questions.
Okay.
How many employees is in the mayor's office and the overall budget?
And what's the overall budget of the mayor's office?
Yeah, I need to know how much he's being appropriated to run his office.
Now, he told me today he run his office on $38,000 less than it was run on last year.
What was it last year?
I didn't ask him that. We'll see if we can find out. I don't have your answer to that.
Okay, and how many employees does he have?
I think there's 4 in the office, isn't there?
That's the same number.
Including himself. Including himself, I think there's 4.
That's the same number they've always had.
Same number they've always had.
Do they need 4? Need those 4?
Well, as a matter of fact, after Mrs. Russell left, I think they only had 3 under Mayor Baird.
Toward the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a secretary and a deputy mayor and a mayor.
And then they've got some other girl that I don't know that anybody knows what she does.
Are they gonna make the deputy mayor the industrial leader, as he stated in his campaign?
I ain't seen any of that happening. Have you?
I haven't seen a thing out of that.
I ain't seen a thing out of that. That campaign promise has gone by the wayside.
I think the proposal on the table is to hire an industrial recruiter.
At $150,000 or something like that.
I don't know how much.
Well, I thought the deputy mayor was gonna help us out on the industrial position. He was hired because of his Toyota experience.
I remember hearing the same thing. So, yeah, all of that's kind of just
Don't
gone.
drink about that now at all.
Yeah, that's kind of gone to the wayside.
And I also seen a picture in the paper that he was somewhere out of the country, and I don't think that's being, fair to the taxpayers if he's not down there in the office doing whatever he does.
Who?
I thought,
Who's out?
I'm that deputy mayor, but what does he do?
Well, now anybody's allowed vacation. I don't have an issue with that.
I don't either.
Yeah, and if he wants to go out of the country on his vacation and do missionary work, that I don't have a problem with that.
No, as long as he's doing his job.
Well, and the industrial recruiter part, I'm with you on 100%. But I gotta get Mr. Slusher. He's got another point. We only got a few minutes.
All right.
Thank you.
This is my third and last public announcement for this evening.
But you still ain't running for office?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Marlowe has announced that he intends to get a tax increase or recommend a tax increase to the county commission, and he's given them 4 options. Now, remember last year he tried to ram that wheel tax down your throat and stopped in his tracks. But the first one is option 1. He's going to go up 22 cents on the property tax.
That's a pretty good increase.
Yes. Option 2, he's going to go up 17 cents on the property tax and $10 on the wheel tax. The third option is he's going to go up 8 cents on the property tax increase and 1.5% on the sales tax. And the fourth option is he's going to go up 3 cents on the property tax rate. He's gonna go up $10 on the wheel tax, and he's going to go up 0.5% on the sales tax. Now, I noticed that there's no option 5 here, Jerry, the slusher option.
There's no tax at all.
0, 0, 0.
The slusher option, okay.
But I doubt that the slusher option is going to.
I'd say it's where we'll end up, but it's not being discussed.
But mark my words, Mr. Marlowe, if his batting average is like it's been in the past, is going to get one of 4 options.
Okay. Well, he ain't gonna get that half-cent tax increase, because you have to go before the voters to do that.
Now, 2 or 3 of the commissioners that voted for the last tax increase made personal comments to me. I'm going to vote for it this time, but I'm not going to do it next time. Well, guess what, folks? Next time's here. Let's see who
It's here.
holds to their word.
Right. Yeah, now that half-cent tax increase, sales tax increase, if I remember correctly, that strictly has to go before the voters. It's been before the voters twice before in the last 10, 12 years. It didn't happen then, it ain't gonna happen now. Commissioner Jennings pointed that out and said, if you all wanna put that on, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure his exact words, but he said, if you all wanna put that on the ballot, I'll vote with you to put it on the ballot. But I know it ain't gonna go nowhere, because the voters are not gonna vote themselves a tax increase. It just ain't gonna happen. And I agree with Mr. Jennings. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the job that Mr. Jennings has done. He, to be a new commissioner, and we have some great commissioners down there, Jerry, that
Now, there ain't nothing new about Mr. Jennings.
no. But, you know, he came in, he hit the ground running, and he's gonna keep running. And, you can't pull the wool over his eyes. I found that out.
No,
pretty
you
quick.
can't, Mr. Jennings too intelligent a man. You can't do that.
But he has done a good job, and though he's not from my district, I just think he's doing a wonderful job. There's others down there that are doing a good job. Scott Stanfield, he's a good one. Sue Nance, yeah, Mr. Davis.
Ralph, I like old Ralph. He's come on strong.
Ralph Davis is a good one.
He's down there for you folks, I can tell you that.
Marie Ayers, I think Marie's doing the best she can do, trying to give a level-headed, reasoned approach to things, and things
Yeah.
still getting shot down. And there's just some good people down there. I haven't named all of them. I can't think of any more, but they need to take the blinders off, though. And that applies not only to the county commission, it applies to the county mayor and the county attorney. Don't let these things slip by. EL gave a wonderful presentation about being open and transparent. Let's do it.
This is probably gonna be our last call. You're on the air.
Yes, I was talking about the animal shelter out there. They say it's closed down because they can't take care of the animals and treat them like they're supposed to be treated. So they closed it down. Where are they taking the animals to when they pick them up?
I don't know the answer to that.
I assume they're executing them.
And I'm not gonna go there. I don't know the answer to that. How long we got, honeybee?
Okay, thank you.
But that's what I assume, that they're being executed.
About 40 seconds.
About 40 seconds. Okay, I thought you was gonna, thank you, ma'am. I thought you was gonna say 40 minutes. I wanna make the Lions Club, Campbell County Lions Club or La Follette Lions, I'm not sure what it's even called, Lions Club of East Tennessee. Talked to a lady who represents them this evening. They're gonna have somebody on here in the next couple of weeks. They're gonna have a big event, a carnival, about a 6 or 7 day carnival, May 4th and May 10th in the city of La Follette. Somebody's gonna be on here in the next couple of weeks to talk about that. So, we appreciate you folks. I appreciate my sidekick coming on. We'll see you next week.